I'm speaking to you today about a lawsuit filed by the Trump administration. It's against Ann Selzer and her company, as well as the Des Moines Register, Gannett, and the Tribune. We know that the lawsuit has origins in consumer fraud. What does Trump have to prove in order for a newspaper to have deceived or misled customers?
So this is a really unique and, in my opinion, far-fetched claim. So as you mentioned, Trump and his lawyers are bringing suit against the pollster and the newspaper under an Iowa Consumer Fraud Act, which is really meant to protect consumers of goods and services against false and deceptive advertising. So Trump alleges that by publishing this poll that turned out to be inaccurate, the newspaper was essentially deceiving the public, giving it misinformation. And I think that's totally unique. Most of Trump's lawsuits to this point have been brought under defamation law. So this is a really novel theory, but publishing a study or an investigation or a poll that turns out to be inaccurate is not intentionally fraudulent.
Latest information about this is this will be going to the federal court. Of course, Gannett, the parent company of Des Moines Register, filed for this to go to the federal court, and according to the Iowa court's website, that was approved. What do you think the reasoning behind this going from district to federal court is?
Yeah, I'm not sure of the reason for it going to federal court.
Do you have like a theory of maybe why Gannett would choose to kind of go in that direction? Do you think it would help their chances? Or what do you think the thought process of that is?
It's possible that they thought that the federal court would be more sympathetic to them as media defendants.
How might the legal strategy differ from Selzer and Company that provides the data to the Register, Gannett, and the publishers? Is one party more or less responsible?
So under Trump's theory, they are all sort of perpetuating this fraud on the public. And they are equally complicit in this deception. I think that none of these claims will stick. Again, Trump would have to show that all of these parties were somehow intentionally deceiving consumers when they issued this inaccurate poll, and I don't think there's any way that can be shown.
Now, moving forward, are the Register, Selzer, and everybody else involved in the suit? Do you believe they'll be required to disclose all communications regarding the poll under discovery? What would the Trump team be looking to find in that process?
Yeah, so they would have to show that this, again, was intentional. And also there's a question of even whether this law would apply to a newspaper publishing information that turns out to be inaccurate. Again, this law was meant to protect consumers of goods and services from being defrauded, not to prohibit newspapers from publishing things that may not be completely correct.
And some of the filings from the lawsuit allege, and some of the things that we've been seeing, of course, show that there was a leak of data prior to the announcement of the original date of that poll to be released to the public. Obviously, that's a big thing that the Trump team is pointing out. What do you think that does to this case?
I'm not familiar with the leak of data. So, but again, I think the whole claim is spurious. So I'm not sure that would strengthen their case at all.
Just to give you some context on that, there was a tweet prior to the poll being released that expressed what the poll would show, and so that's like a big stick for them. Next question, any estimate on damages being sought? Is there at all a parallel with the ABC News Stephanopoulos ruling?
As I understand it, Trump has not specified a damage award. that he seeks in this consumer fraud claim. And honestly, I don't know what kind of compensation he would be looking for. When you have a defamation suit, what's compensated is injury to your reputation. There's no reputational harm at issue in this lawsuit. So I think, it's really unclear what a court would even award. But again, I think the claim is totally without merit.
Is there anything else about this case that I may not have brought up that you want to clarify for our viewers?
Well, I think that Trump has made very clear that he wants to go after the media. He wants to make things difficult for the press. He wants to create a chilling effect whereby newspapers become afraid of writing about him critically. And I see this lawsuit as part of that attack on the press.
Well, thank you so much for providing a moment of your time for us today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.